So in this video, we're going to take a look at the new Moto G Power 2021 version versus the OnePlus Nord N10 5G. Let me know in the comments below which phone you're currently using, or if you already own one of these phones. I'll leave a link in the description below with current pricing and more information on each of these two devices. If you're new to the channel, I try to do a lot of comparison videos just like this one, so don't forget to subscribe unless you have already. So let's go ahead and get started. You get 3 or 4 gigabytes of RAM on the Moto G Power, depending on which model you get, and the price ranges from $200 to $250 in the United States. So for only $50 more, you get 128 gigabytes of storage versus only 64 gigabytes or 32 on the Moto G Power. Again, depending on which model you choose. Nice thing is you can get both devices unlocked, which means you can use it on pretty much any GSM carrier, like Cricket, Straight Talk, AT&T, T-Mobile, and so on. You can also choose between 2 different colors for the Moto G Power, where you only get one color, Midnight Ice, with the OnePlus Nord N10 5G. One thing that was nice, when I bought the OnePlus Nord N10 5G, they gave me some free headphones, the OnePlus Buds Z. I don't think that deal's still going on, but hey, that's a $50 value. Now when it comes to battery life on these two phones, they're actually really good. I got 10 hours battery life on the OnePlus Nord N10 5G, which has a 4300 milliamp hour battery. And then I got 12 hours battery life on the Moto G Power with a 5000 milliamp hour battery. So yeah, you're gonna get probably a couple days battery life out of these without any problems. One advantage with OnePlus is you get warp charge, so it only takes about 1 hour to charge from 0 to 100%, where with the Moto G Power, it takes over 2 hours to charge up. So if you want the faster charging and really good battery life, go with OnePlus. If you just want a battery that doesn't seem like it's gonna die, then yeah, hello Moto. Now surprisingly, the screens on these budget devices actually look really good. You get a 2K resolution, 6.49 inch, 90Hz screen on the OnePlus Nord N10, and you get 1080p resolution on the 6.6 inch Moto G Power. So both have really nice large screens. That's gonna be great for watching videos or pretty much doing anything. It just makes it a little easier on the eyes. Now there's not a huge difference in quality on these two phones when it comes to the screens, but when you put them right next to each other, it's pretty obvious OnePlus does have the better looking screen. It's a little more crisp, although Motorola does seem to have a slightly brighter display. So both have really nice large screens with pretty small bezels. Both have a little bit bigger chin down there at the bottom, but overall I think both of these look really good. Now the OnePlus speakers are slightly louder, especially considering OnePlus has a speaker up by the earpiece and the Moto G Power only has a bottom firing speaker. I mean, they both sound okay and are fairly loud in person, but if you want the louder and better sounding speakers, you're gonna wanna go with the OnePlus Nord N10 5G. Here's a quick sound test of each, just to give you an idea of what to expect. Aluminum on the back of the ear cups sort of reminds me of the original iPhone design, but without the Apple logo. And the ear cushions are much better than I thought they would be as well, being covered in a really nice mesh material. Now, even though these phones look almost identical, you're obviously gonna get slightly better specs on the N10 5G. I know what you're thinking, which one is the N10 5G? They look pretty much the same. Well, it's the one with the glossy finish on the back. There are a few subtle differences between the rear camera setups on these two devices. You get a macro lens and depth lens on the Moto G Power, where you get an ultra wide angle, macro lens, and monochrome lens on the Nord N10. The main rear camera on OnePlus is definitely a little more detailed, and it just seems to be better in low light situations compared to the Moto G Power. But both phones are actually pretty decent for budget devices. When it comes to the cameras, I don't think you can go wrong with either of these two phones, but I prefer OnePlus. It just seems a little bit easier to switch between modes, and it just gives better details and results almost every time in my testing compared to when I used the Moto G Power. Not to mention, you can also shoot 4K video on the OnePlus Nord N10 and only Full HD on the Moto G Power. Performance-wise, I feel like both phones do a pretty decent job for budget devices. You get the Snapdragon 690 processor and 6GB of RAM on the OnePlus Nord N10 5G, and a Snapdragon 662 with 3 or 4GB of RAM, depending on which model you get, on the Moto G Power. When gaming, you're going to notice they do load a little bit faster on the OnePlus Nord N10. You're also going to get HD graphics with high frame rates on games like PUBG Mobile with the OnePlus Nord N10. And then you're only going to get lowest graphic settings with medium frame rates on the Moto G Power. It's not going to be, I gotta tell you, it's not going to be a huge difference when gaming, but the phone with better performance and gaming is the OnePlus Nord N10. Yeah, you're paying a little bit more than the Moto G Power, but just keep in mind on each of these categories on which one seems like the better phone. I also tested Call of Duty Mobile and Asphalt 9. Both phones have nice smooth graphics, not really any glitches or lag that I noticed in my testing, and I don't think you can go wrong with either one on gaming. But again, OnePlus definitely wins this category. Some other things to point out, you got a fingerprint scanner on both of these. Now, whether you like to have the fingerprint scanner on the power button, like the Moto G Power, or on the back of the OnePlus Nord N10, I feel both work really good and are nice and snappy. Now, when it comes to software on both of these, the way Motorola and OnePlus allows you to customize Android, but still keep it pretty close to stock Android, they're definitely two of my favorite companies when it comes to the Android software experience. I think they're even better in most cases compared to Pixel phones right from Google. But hey, that might just be me. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.